It's Craig with your book buzz. Today I'm here with Jennifer Hillman and William McKeever, the authors of a great new book called Biking the Empire State Trail. Welcome. So you're a pair of authors, and you wrote the book together, and you did the trail together, correct?
That is true.
We
Yeah.
did, yes. Not only are we co-authors, we're husband and wife as well.
And our marriage
Cool.
survived writing a book together.
Wow. What was harder in the marriage, writing the book or biking the trail?
I think we enjoy hanging out together, so neither was difficult.
Yeah.
What was the
I
it's,
mean,
pardon? What was the inspiration for the book? Did you just love the trail so much and then you decided to do the book, or was the reverse true?
Yeah, no, we've always wanted to bike the Empire State Trail from Buffalo to Albany. It's been on our bucket list for, gosh, probably about 7 years, but we never had the time to be able to commit to it. And there's a there's a through ride that the Empire State Trail Committee puts together every year. That's 6 nights and 7 days, and it's pretty hardcore. Like you're biking anywhere between like 60 and 70 miles a day, and that was a little too
Wow.
much for Bill and I to commit to. But when our publisher Reedy Press reached out to us to write another book on cycling, we're like, oh, we could finally do the book on the Empire State Trail and do it at our own pace and stop and really enjoy it and share the experience with others. So yeah, that was our whole motivation behind it.
And how long did it take you to do the whole trail to get enough information for the book?
Yeah, it took us from committing to Reedy Press to the book coming out 2 years exactly. So we biked the trail as weekenders, I like to call it. So we would go out anywhere from 1 day to 2 or 3 days, and we would bike sections of it. And as we got further away from our home, we're based outside of Buffalo, New York, and Hamburg, New York. We would start staying overnight for sections of it, and just enjoying the area that we were in.
Great. Well, I'm a big upstate New Yorker. I love books about upstate New York. I love going places in upstate New York. I lived on the West Coast for 10 years and I hated it. I moved back east. So when I was a kid in school, the Erie Canal was such a big part of New York history. And I don't know if people are really well aware of the history of that and why it's so important to New York. Are you sort of into the history as well as the physical element?
sure, yeah. We definitely have a history interest. When we were out on the trail, we actually come at it from many different directions. The naturalist kind of experience and the exercise and the tourism, but the history is definitely part of it. And the Erie Canal was so important to New York State and to the whole country, actually, when it came online in 1825, and that's exactly 200 years ago. And so this year, the Erie Canal is celebrating its 200 its bicentennial. So this year, there's all kinds of stuff going on, celebrations, exhibits, events, all up and down, all across the trail. And our book actually was timed, to come out to coincide with the bicentennial of the Erie Canal. But definitely, the Erie Canal was able to bring goods and services from Europe and from the East Coast out to the Midwest, and just as equally important, back again from the center of the country. So it was a huge economic driver.
Cool. What kind of things can we find in the book for people that are interested? Are there places to eat? Are there places to hang out? Places to camp overnight? What kind of things are you really touching upon for the information?
Yeah, so one of the things that was important to us when we put the book together is that we put it together in bite-sized sections. So there's five different. We have the canal trail broken down into five different sections. So you can choose to do a deep exploration of an individual section if you'd like, and then within each section it's broken down further into mini trail segments. And for each trail segment, we tell the reader what they can expect along the way. So what type of, if there's restaurants nearby, if there's camping facilities, if there's hotels nearby, if there's restaurants, if there's like a boat launch or kayak and paddling launch. We also tell people if there's no services nearby. So some sections of the trail, not many, but some sections have no services. So we make sure that everyone is aware and they have expectations when they go out of what to prepare for along their journey. We also tell people how difficult the trail is within that section. So for the most part, the Erie Canal is easy, flat, and highly marked, almost impossible to get lost. So it's a very family friendly user experience, but there are just a few sections that are more challenging, and we make sure that people are aware of that so they don't take on more than they can handle.
Yeah, the tips and tricks thing.
Yeah.
Point out anything that's different or to look out for.
Cool. So it seems like you could break up your journey into sections based on how experienced you are as a bike rider and how much time you have, correct?
Absolutely. And that's what we did, and that's what we recommend for a lot of people to try is start with the section that's closest to where you are and explore that to the west of you, and then explore it to the east of you. And then, if you enjoy the experience, go out and continue on.
Great. Talk about some of the sites along the way that that you liked most, or that you might have been surprised by.
Well, I would say what got me a lot was that there's variety along the trail. You on any given bike ride, you would spend a lot of time maybe going through farmland, agricultural areas, wildflower fields. You'd go through forested areas, and then all of a sudden you would emerge into a town, small village, a city or two along the way. We end in Albany. So there's all this different variety. And then plus along the way, like as you can see, there are the locks. And so you get to see sort of the industrial and engineering heritage of the state. And these are all in service. And it was always a big thrill to me in kind of the geeky way that when we would be at a lock, we would often see boats coming in and then the locks filling and raising or lowering the boats to continue their journey along the canal. So a lot of variety, a lot of things to see. And one of the things that like we're sort of known for or we say about ourselves is we like to go slow. There's a lot of riders that want to start their day and go straight through and get to their destination for that day, and that's great. It's an exercise thing. It's whatever it is, it's great. We like to stop a lot, and it's like, oh, look at that wildflower. Look at that frog running across the trail. We like to take pictures and use naturalist apps to identify what that wildflower is or whatever it is we're seeing, or to stop at a place like this and see the bridges and the engineering. So we like to say we go slow, so you can too. You don't have to go at any pace other than the one that works for you.
Right. And so for some people who aren't maybe are outside of New York watching this, the Erie Canal kind of ended at Albany, right? Because it originally connected with the Hudson River, correct? Is that what happened? And then if you wanted to go farther than that, there's a Hudson River Trail that connects to it. Is that true?
Yeah, so the 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 Empire State Trail is 750 miles long. The Erie Canal Trail is part of the Empire State Trail. The Empire State Trail goes Buffalo to Albany. And then once you hit Albany, there is a northern spear that goes up to the Canadian border along Lake Champlain, and there's also a southern spear that goes down to New York City to Battery Park. So I believe it's the most extensive bike riding trail in the United States.
This is really interesting because I think most people don't think of New York as such a great place for nature and doing outdoors things. We get a bad rep over here. I mean, I know it snows a lot, but there's it's just so interesting that there's so much wilderness in New York State, and there's so much natural beauty, and this is a great way to sort of expose yourself to it and have fun and at the same time.
Exactly, and all along the trail, there's services at every stop and end point, so you're never removed from civilization. You can always get a cell phone signal if you need to reach out to somebody for support, and there's always going to be services nearby, so you can grab something to eat. You could get some water. Or just use the restroom. So it's a beautifully serviced trail, and there's great parking in inlets to the trail, so where you can park your car and you can bring your bikes in at many different points.
Right. Well, it seems like a great thing to do during the summer now that it's finally arrived in New York State.
Yes.
Have you written books together before? Is this sort of your first time at this?
This is actually our second book. And so previous to this, we published a book in 2022 called Secret Places, 25 Hikes. And it was a book about little known, flying under the radar kind of hikes that all had very unusual aspects to that particular hike. So some kind of a claim to fame, like kind of the poster child for our book is the Eternal Flame in Erie County, where there's this natural gas jet that is, it's on fire, and it's behind a waterfall. So it's really interesting. It's in a little alcove behind a waterfall. And so our book had a number of trails that had something weird or sublime or unique or whatever to it. And that was just a load of fun for us to research, to do all the hiking, and then to write it together.
Right. What kind of people would benefit from this book? It's not a fiction book. It's not really a nonfiction book. It's more like a guide. And would see this book like if I was driving on the thruway? Would you hope to get it into like thruway stops and things like that anywhere along New York State?
So what I would say is that if anyone's listening from the New York State Thruway Authority, we would love to have our book there. However, you can get our book at the different REI stores throughout New York State. It's stocked there. It's also at Barnes and Noble, and it's anywhere where books are commonly sold, and also on our website, which is insiders-outside.com. You can get a copy of it.
Yeah, well, and as far as who is the book for, we like to say it's for everybody. But it's a family book. It's something for families to do together. It's not necessarily for like a hardcore cyclist that's super intense or anything like that. It's for anybody, because it's a chance to explore, and we're just kind of we're showing you the ropes. We're showing you the places of interest, and we're giving you the heads up as to what you can expect on any given segment of it, and the special things that you can find along the way. So you don't have to be super athletic, and you don't have to through cycle, by the way. You don't have to go from one end to the other, like Jennifer was saying before. You can pick a segment, one of the five main segments that we identified, or just a small area, and you can go biking for just the day, or you can maybe do a weekend or the whole thing.
Great. Well, I noticed in some of the press information I got, you mentioned the best gelato or pizza along the way. So we understand that, somebody who's doing the Tour de France may not want to stop and get the gelato, but we certainly do. So that's a plus. Congratulations on finishing this. Sounds like you had a double win: finishing the trail, finishing the book, and staying together. So that's a triple win, actually. And it was great talking to you guys today. I will put the link for the book in the text of the story, and it was great talking to you guys. Happy cycling, happy writing. Check out more stories on our website and Craig's to-do list. It's great seeing you guys. Take care.
Great.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you so much. Get on your bike and ride.
I need a helmet.